In this clip, I want to talk about choosing the right high-definition television. You go to the store, there are a lot of options. They're all different shapes and sizes, and one may look just slightly better than the other, but may cost a fortune, and it's smaller than the other one. Well, let's look at really what is important in choosing a high-def set. First, room size. The size of room that you're going to put the high-def set into makes a huge difference on how you're going to really enjoy your viewing experience. You don't want to put a 60-inch TV, a high-def set, in a 10 by 10 foot room. That's just overkill. That's too much. Each TV has, or each TV size, and ask the salesperson about this, has an optimum viewing distance, where you want to put your couch or your chair that you're going to be watching from. You want to consider that and see if you have the proper distance, or as well as the rest of the decor and layout of the room. So look at the room size to first determine kind of what area you want to be in for size. This one right here is a 32-inch, and that's a great size. It's what I have in my living room at home. 42-inch would fit in that room as well, but in terms of price, I stuck with the 32-inch. Now the other options, or the other things to consider, once you figure out what size you want to be in, now you got to figure out how much money you have to spend. High-def sets go from anywhere from $3,500, that'd be $350, up to like $5,000 for the gigantic ones, and actually some of the smaller ones are very expensive as well. So when you figure out your size, look at your budget. A 32-inch high-def set is usually in the neighborhood of about $1,000. You can get them between $700 and $1,500. So that goes into brand name and also a few other little bells and whistles to look at, whether or not it has a built-in tuner, which we'll talk about a little bit later, or if it's just a standalone set that requires a box top kind of cable decoder to be able to accept signals. So budget is another consideration to look at. The other thing, the third and main thing to look at would be, what are you going to be using it for mostly? Are you going to be watching television mostly on it? Or are you going to be watching movies mostly? Or is it a good mix? Television is still broadcasting, or mostly broadcasting in 720 lines of resolution for their HD feeds. So that means you don't need a 1080i set to watch television if you're going to primarily be watching television on that set. So that may bring the cost down, and actually it would also bring the size down. If you're going to be watching mostly movies, if it's for a theater or home theater, you want to look more towards the larger size and the 1080i sets. Those are the ones that have the 1080 lines of resolution versus the 720 lines of resolution. So again, 720 lines of resolution is great for television watching. It's also great for movies, because most movies are brought out in 1080i, or at least at the 1080 screen size. So it can be down converted to 720 very, very well. If you plan on using just a standard definition DVD player, I would suggest getting a smaller set, because the image won't be blown up as large and it's not going to pixelate and kind of fall apart and look kind of garbagey. You'd really want to consider some of your other options for watching DVDs on a high-def set rather than just the standard definition DVD player that you may have already. But we'll talk about that in another chapter.